Caffeine is one of the most widely consumed substances in the world, found in coffee, tea, energy drinks, and even chocolate. Despite its popularity, there are numerous myths and misconceptions about caffeine that many people still believe. Today, we're going to separate fact from fiction and debunk 15 common caffeine myths with science-backed explanations. Myth number 1. Caffeine causes dehydration. While caffeine has a mild diuretic effect, moderate consumption does not cause dehydration. Studies show that the fluid content in caffeinated beverages offsets the diuretic effect, meaning they still contribute to your daily hydration. Researchers found that drinking coffee, tea, or other caffeinated beverages provides nearly the same hydration levels as water. Unless consumed in extreme excess, caffeine does not lead to significant fluid loss that would dehydrate the body. Myth number 2. Caffeine is highly addictive. Caffeine dependence is possible, but it is not classified as an addiction like drugs or alcohol. Some people may experience withdrawal symptoms like headaches, fatigue, irritability, or difficulty concentrating when they suddenly stop consuming caffeine. However, these symptoms typically last only a few days and are mild compared to true addiction, which involves compulsive behavior and severe withdrawal effects. Most people can easily reduce or control their caffeine intake without serious consequences. Myth number 3. Drinking coffee stunts growth. There is no scientific evidence linking caffeine consumption to stunted growth. This myth likely originated from old misconceptions about calcium absorption, but modern research has found no correlation. While excessive caffeine intake might slightly reduce calcium absorption, the effect is too small to impact bone growth significantly. As long as individuals consume a balanced diet with adequate calcium and vitamin D, caffeine will not interfere with normal development. Myth number 4. Caffeine causes osteoporosis. Moderate caffeine intake does not significantly impact bone health. Some studies have shown that excessive caffeine consumption might lead to a slight decrease in calcium absorption, but the effect is minor and can be easily countered by consuming calcium-rich foods or supplements. Long-term studies have not found a direct link between caffeine intake and an increased risk of osteoporosis, particularly when people maintain a well-balanced diet. Myth number 5. Caffeine causes heart disease. No direct link exists between moderate caffeine consumption and heart disease. Some people experience temporary increases in blood pressure after consuming caffeine, but these effects are usually short-lived. Long-term studies suggest that moderate coffee consumption may actually lower the risk of certain cardiovascular conditions due to its high antioxidant content. However, individuals with pre-existing heart conditions should monitor their caffeine intake based on their doctor's recommendations. Myth number 6. Caffeine always leads to insomnia. Caffeine affects sleep, but its impact depends on timing and individual tolerance. The body metabolizes caffeine at different rates, with some people processing it faster than others. Consuming caffeine early in the day is unlikely to disrupt sleep, but drinking it too close to bedtime can delay sleep onset and reduce sleep quality. Experts recommend avoiding caffeine at least 6 hours before sleep to minimize its effects on rest. Myth number 7. Decaffeinated coffee. Has no caffeine. Decaffeinated coffee still contains some caffeine, just significantly less than regular coffee. Depending on the process used, decaf coffee retains around 2 to 5 milligrams of caffeine per cup, compared to 95 milligrams in a regular cup. While this amount is much lower, it may still be enough to affect people who are highly sensitive to caffeine or trying to eliminate it completely from their diet. Myth number 8. Caffeine helps sober you. Caffeine does not reduce blood alcohol levels or sober you up. While it may make you feel more alert and awake, it does not counteract alcohol's effects on coordination, reaction time, or judgment. This false sense of sobriety can actually be dangerous, as people may believe they are fit to drive or make important decisions while still impaired by alcohol. Myth number 9. Energy drinks contain more caffeine than coffee. Many energy drinks contain less caffeine than a standard cup of coffee. A typical energy drink has about 80 milligrams of caffeine, while a cup of coffee can have 95 to 200 milligrams depending on the brew. The difference is that energy drinks often contain additional stimulants, such as taurine and guarana, which can amplify the perceived effects of caffeine, leading people to believe they contain more caffeine than they actually do. Myth number 10. Caffeine has no health benefits. Caffeine has been linked to various health benefits, including improved brain function, enhanced alertness, and reduced risk of certain diseases. Research suggests that caffeine may enhance cognitive performance, lower the risk of Parkinson's disease, improve liver health, and even protect against some types of cancer due to its high antioxidant content. However, excessive consumption can have negative effects, so moderation is key. Myth number 11. Pregnant women should avoid caffeine completely. Moderate caffeine intake is generally safe during pregnancy. Health experts suggest limiting caffeine to 200 milligrams per day, which is roughly the amount found in one 12-ounce cup of coffee. High caffeine intake has been linked to potential complications, such as low birth weight, but complete avoidance is not necessary unless specifically advised by a doctor. Myth number 12. Caffeine makes you lose weight. Caffeine can slightly boost metabolism and increase fat oxidation, but it does not cause significant or long-term weight loss on its own. Some weight loss supplements contain caffeine because it temporarily increases energy expenditure. But sustainable weight management depends on overall diet, physical activity, and lifestyle habits. Myth number 13. Caffeine can cause cancer. No scientific evidence supports the claim that caffeine increases cancer risk. In fact, some research suggests that coffee consumption may reduce the risk of certain cancers, such as liver and colorectal cancer, due to its high antioxidant content. The World Health Organization has even removed coffee from its list of possible carcinogens based on extensive research findings. Myth number 14. Dark roast coffee has more caffeine than light roast. Light roast coffee generally contains slightly more caffeine than dark roast. The roasting process reduces caffeine content, meaning a lighter roast retains more caffeine per bean. However, because dark roast beans are less dense, more grounds are typically used per serving, which can balance out the caffeine levels in a brewed cup. Myth number 15. Caffeine only comes from coffee beans. Caffeine is naturally found in many plants, including tea leaves, cacao beans, and guarana berries. Tea, chocolate, and many herbal supplements also contain caffeine, making it more widespread than people realize. Some sodas and over-the-counter medications also contain added caffeine, so it is important to check labels if you are monitoring your intake. Conclusion. Caffeine is often misunderstood, but by separating fact from fiction, you can make informed choices about your consumption. Moderation is key, and for most people, caffeine can be enjoyed safely as part of a balanced lifestyle. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more amazing facts.